Welcome to the Homeschool Paradigm Podcast. I'm Angela, and I'm with my husband, Jeff, again. And for some reason, I always feel like recording a little thing with him when we're in the car. So sorry about the noise. Say hi, Jeff.
Hello.
So I wanted to talk today about, I've been thinking that homeschool shouldn't be a power struggle. So I asked Jeff if he would talk about that with me a little bit. Why do you think homeschool shouldn't be a power struggle? I know that you think it shouldn't be.
I think we want the same thing. Our children want to be successful. They want to feel good about somewhere that they're going with as they learn something. Parents want that as well. So I think it's worth talking about the problems sometimes that exist with struggles in the home.
Yeah, that's a big one. I think sometimes we feel like we're on the other side fighting our kids. Like we have to force them to work and they feel forced to work. And when we're really on the same team, we want the same thing. Your kid really isn't trying to irritate you. They're just trying to grow up and be successful too. That's a good point.
Well, children in general, they've never seen homeschool in their lives before, and this is their first experience with it in many ways, and they're just getting used to the process of doing it that way. And sometimes when it's their mom or dad helping, it's right in the home, and they might feel like there's not a real reason to listen to mom and dad, and so those problems can exist, the struggles can exist.
Yeah, I think that a couple of things could be happening with our kids a lot of times. So first of all, if we morph into some other personality and become the teacher, I think that can be scary to the kids, especially little ones. I think that can actually be scary. Like, you're acting like somebody different. And I think they're going to push against it a little bit because it's unsettling, at least, when you turn into someone else. That's why I never wanted to separate our homeschool from our home. So I always just considered, well, at the beginning I didn't, but once I got a little bit of stuff figured out, I considered it parenting instead of like a whole separate thing. And you hear advice, or I did back then. I don't know if there's so much advice like this now, but back then it was like, change your clothes to become the teacher, or, go do something else, go run around the block or something. And when you come in, it's school now, it's not home anymore. And I think that feels pretty bad to kids. I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to make the kids feel it, but I also wanted to feel like it was home all the time and not separate it and put it in compartments.
I would think our kids would want to, or any children would want their mom and dad to act like mom and dad and be helpful as a mom and dad can be, and that the atmosphere doesn't have to change into something that's negative, or you have to enforce your way through any learning that happens.
Right. Well, honestly, forcing your way through learning is causing learning not to happen anyway. I mean, sometimes as adults we can force our learning. If we have to study something or have to learn something for work or whatever, we can manage our brains a little bit better sometimes. But I think when kids just feel their parents forcing them, it's just like it shuts them down.
I think kids would like to see us struggle too with something we're trying to learn that's not easy, that we show them that not everything comes naturally to us as well. And when they see that, maybe they can even help at times, depending on where they're at and their ages and what they've experienced so far.
Yeah, I think when you think your kids, I don't want to say think your kids, but if you act like your kids are not actually humans too, like sometimes we expect something so completely different from our kids than we expect from ourselves, or than we realize is a human response to something. I wonder about that. We expect our kids to perform perfectly all the time, but we don't. I mean, nobody does. So I think that's adding a whole lot of stress to your environment.
So what do we do to prevent these power struggles? What can we do?
Well, we work together. I see a lot of moms saying, "Oh, I don't know what to do when it's time to learn something." Even for young kids, like I understand it a little better when it's high school. Trigonometry or something might be really hard. But like I saw recently somebody saying, "I just don't think I can help my 5th grader learn whatever it was," and I wondered why they didn't just think they could learn it together. Well, first of all, I wondered why they thought their 10-year-old could learn something that they were incapable of learning. I thought that was interesting. But then just learning it together is perfectly acceptable. Like if we expect our kids to learn it, why can't we do it with them? So my favorite thing to avoid power struggles is to work together. And that's not just schoolwork either. That was always all kinds of work. I was talking to Sarah the other day about, she was saying how she was expected to do things growing up, not just school or whatever, but like we all cooked together and we all cleaned together and we just all did it until it was all done. So I didn't feel like it was any different for homeschool. We just worked on schoolwork until it was done too, and we just did it together. And if there was something I needed to learn because I didn't know it already, you can't know everything already. And no teacher in any public school knows everything your kid needs to learn either. But just learning it together, working together on the same team.
And working with your children on different resources they can learn by. A lot of times they'll have good ideas on how to use other resources to prevent some struggles that mom and dads have with their children.
Right. Yeah. So that's also part of the teamwork thing, right? You're not just directing it all the time. You're getting ideas, especially now with technology. The kids understand it so much more quickly than we do. So like they might be able to figure out. You wonder how did you know that about this technology or whatever, and it's just because they can figure it out so quickly. Like our granddaughter, she's pretty quick at figuring out something on the phone I can't figure out. She's 9, but she can figure it out, not because she's done it a million times and she doesn't have her own phone or anything, but she can just figure it out.
Yeah, asking for their suggestions on different ways of going about this or that as you cover your day with them.
Yeah.
Is real helpful.
I mean, how much more likely are they to be interested in learning the thing, or just their brain, capacity, brain power available to, when you have respected their ideas and treat them as a teammate instead of just trying to force everything that you decide is best, because everyone has their own personality. Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
You are welcome.
Thanks for listening.